In this video, we have my brother Jean-Pierre J. Garcia here, and today we'll be introducing the topic, why the richer get richer, but the middle class people stay the same way. Today in this video, I would like for you to introduce all the godly wisdom that you have in your life towards this certain topic. So speak to me about what you think this topic has spoken to your life about.
Sophia, the richer get richer because they get money and they invest it in assets. Mm-hmm. The middle class people get poorer because they consume more things instead of making their money produce more money for them. A balance sheet usually has income at the very top left corner. That's all the money that's coming inside to you. And then on the right side has expenses. So as money comes in, money comes out. And obviously, of course, if you would like margin means whatever left over is after your income and expenses, whatever left over is the margin. So with that margin, you potentially either find more things to expend it on, or you find more things to invest it on so that they can produce you more income. Mm-hmm. And then at the bottom of those two, which is income and expenses, we have assets and we have liabilities. Mm-hmm. So this is where the rich and the middle class come in. So the rich think like this. They're like, we need to acquire, get, invest, figure out, create more assets. Assets will produce more income. Liabilities will make you spend more money. Liabilities are a home. I'll explain to you later why. Liabilities are a car. Why? Because they are things that depreciate in value. So you work really, really hard to get you a $50,000 car, $100,000 car, in which in a year from now, that $100,000 car investment, dream, endeavor, or goal now is worth $20K. So you're working backwards instead of forward.
Right.
So the rich think differently. And the reason why I say a house is about investment is because if you get a home just to pay a mortgage on it for 30 years, you're potentially getting income from one end, and then you're spending it on something that doesn't produce you any money.
Exactly.
You get what I'm trying to tell you? It's just basically part of an expense. Now watch. If that home, you move it towards the asset column, that means there's a tenant inside there. There is someone inside there making you, even if it's $100 a fee, I don't care. There's a tenant inside there who pays the rent, pays you rent, and then that extra money after you pay the mortgage becomes income towards you. Mm-hmm. So imagine if you had 1,000 houses in which you only made $100 on. If you get the calculator and you do, let me see, let's say you only make $200 and then you multiply that by 1,000 homes.
Okay.
So let's say you make $200 and then you multiply that by 1,000 homes, you're making a total of $20,000 every single month. So mind you, you're only making $200 per little house that you rent. No problem, it's only $200. But mind you, I have 1,000 of those. Did I do that correctly? It's $200 times 1,000 homes. I said that wrong. It's 200,000. That's a big difference from 20,000 to 200,000. Yeah. So that would be $200,000 you get every single month.
Correct.
Every single month. That's why real estate is so powerful. But just like real estate, it could be any business endeavor. It could be gold, it could be silver, it could be Bitcoin, it could be whatever the case that you buy, something that eventually in the future could cost more instead of it costing less.
Yes.
So yes, leave some room for some fun, leave some room for enjoyment, leave some room for vacations, but leave some room for investing. Leave some room for wealth creation, leave some room to leave an inheritance, to leave a legacy. So that's why one of the main principles why the rich get richer and the wealth class stays the same or potentially goes down.
Right. So actually, in regards to that topic, I know how you said like a house can be a bad investment, but it can also be a good investment if you're having other people pay your rent. So speak to me about other bad debts that the middle class makes a lot, but that you never see the rich people commit.
Okay, so there are two types of ways in which this world usually functions. So the way usually this world is programmed to function is you have a human being, and then that human being, what he does is he trades his time for something called money. And once he gets his money, the human being without financial literacy, what he usually does is he buys a home or he buys a car. And both of those two things end up depreciating and becoming zero.
Right.
So the way it works on the other side, which is the godly way, God in his immense resourcefulness, he created you being a resource. So God is the source, he created you, you're the resource. And then God, from his immense creativity, he gave you a piece of his creativity. So you can either have an idea. So he put a desire within your heart and that desire projects itself as an idea. So with that idea, you're able to serve me some way, somehow, and I'm able to pay you. So you see, you have something that helps me and I have something to pay you with. I have something to help you in which you pay me and I help you out. So out of that idea, you ought to make a product or you ought to make a service. And from them two, there's more, but from them two, what you do is you get the money. But mind you, you got money out of creativity. You didn't get money out of time. So you see, the guy in the top he's trading his time for money. Once he spends his money, he no longer has the money, so he needs to go back and do the thing all over again and continue working so that he can get money to continue now getting a better car.
Correct.
But the guy in the bottom, once he creates the product and gets the money, he did that out of creativity. He didn't lack creativity. Now he just got more creative. And as time goes by, he gets more creative and more creative. So he figures out a way to create more product and more services. So that process keeps on repeating itself. And it keeps on repeating itself. And one guy gets poorer, the other guy just keeps getting more money. So the godly guy he could get a house, he could get the car. Why? Because the money keeps coming. Why? You keep coming up with products, you keep coming up with services. And for the person who is listening to me right now, and he may be telling me, I don't have a product, I don't have a service. Well, you need to do what I did. You need to invest money into someone who does have a product, into someone who does have a service, and you just enjoy the funds. So they have an idea, they have a product, they have a service. You become an investor with it, you become an affiliated marketer, and then now you enjoy the benefit of being with somebody who has a product or has a service. The next thing you could do, mind you, I just gave you three things. You could do a product, a service, or you can invest with somebody who has a product or a service. The fourth thing you could do is you could become an affiliated marketer. An affiliated marketer is a middleman or a middlewoman. This is where you have a service. I know your service, I know your price, and I potentially try to get a discount from you. And then I find a client. And what I do with much confidence, I tell that client that your price is more expensive. But mind you, I keep the most expensive part about it. So you get to charge your price, he gets to get the service, I get to make the commission.
Right.
Example, let's say you charge me $4,000 a month.
Amen. Amen.
Let's say you charge me $4,000 a month. And then I have a guy who wants to do social media marketing. And I'm like, hey, brother, I have a team that can get you on schedule, that can get you a funnel, that can get you posting one long a week. They do the recording, they do the website updating, they do the editing, they do it all for you. How much do they charge? They charge $6,000, bro. They're like, oh, $6,000. I think I could do that. What do I need to start with them? Well, you just send them $2,000. And then from those $2,000, they give you a contract and then you just start working with them. At the end of the month, you pay them the $4,000. So mind you, I just made me $2,000. You haven't even started the service. When you start and whenever you're done with the service, he pays you what you originally charged, which is $4,000. And now every single month, since I made an agreement with him of $6,000, I just make an extra residual income of $2,000.
That's fire. That's fire.
Every single month off of work you didn't do.
Yeah.
That's called skill. And that skill is called affiliated marketing. And that same concept you can apply to any business, any idea, any endeavor, any product, and any service. You just become skillful with your words, marketing, and how to sell.
Right. You just gotta believe and trust that you know what you're doing.
Yes. Everything is identity. Everything is identity. I can sit here and I can preach to you. I can prophesy to you. I can teach you. I can give you strategy. I can give you wisdom, knowledge, and intel. But if you don't believe it, that's on you.
Exactly.
So everything starts with a shift of mindset. Once you shift your mindset, you start to believe that person in which the Lord created you to be. I have this much for you. You must believe it. God told Moses, you're going to be a deliverer. He said, me? No, you need to send someone else to have a problem with speech. He says, am I not the great I am?
Exactly.
Am I not the person who created the heavens and the earth? Am I not who I am? Didn't I create the mouth? Don't you think that I'm going to give you the words to speak? Don't you think I'm going to teach you? So we sometimes try to, including myself, we try to tell God millions of reasons why we can't. And within all of those reasons that we can't, he's already figured out along the journey. At the end, he's already seen a way that you can.
Right.
So if he told you can, it's because along the journey, he'll figure out a way to make it happen for you.
Right. We just can't limit God.
Either he'll connect you with an Aaron, or he'll connect you with the knowledge or with the wisdom, or he'll teach you. He'll figure out a way. But what you have inside your heart, believe me, that the Lord believes that you can get it done, and he's seen in the future that you've accomplished it already.
Exactly.
All you got to do is just believe it.
Right.
Once you believe it, then things start aligning to your life. But everything happens from a perspective of identity.
So speak to me about, as a businessman, why your 5 to the time that you go to sleep works for you and versus why it wouldn't work for the people that are living in the middle class.
Okay, so I'm very zealous about my time.
Okay.
I have a concept and a principle that time is far more expensive than money.
Mm-hmm.
I have a belief and a principle. I don't know where I learned this from, but if you cannot conquer the night, you cannot conquer the morning.
Yes.
So it is almost obscene to think that you're going to wake up at 5 in the morning if you're going to bed at 12.
Exactly.
So this is one main reason why you cannot be in church every single nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
You need to pick the times very wisely, the times that you go, not just church, any endeavor in the nighttime.
Yeah.
So I don't always wake up at 5. Sometimes I wake up at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I go to bed, and once I go to bed, I take shifts with my wife to see who takes care of the baby.
Sure.
So my wife may take a shift, and then I wake up for the next shift, and then she wakes up for the other shift. But I always try to make time in the morning to do those things that are passionate to me. Make sure that whatever Sophie wants to do, Sophie is doing. Because if you're trying to please everything else but what Sophie wants to do, Sophie will be miserable. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you make time for the things that are important to you. Time for your prayer, time for a book, time for silence. We're so busy talking to God, we never let him talk. Mm-hmm. Time for the gym, time for a coffee in the morning, time for whatever you want, but make sure that you plan that the night before. So it's important to conquer the night so that you can conquer the morning. Exactly. And after you planned all of those things, then in the morning you can get started to doing with whatever it is that you like to do. Mm-hmm. And always keep a planner. A planner has helped me immensely. I can have a meeting 3 months from now and I'll know when the meeting is, I'll know when the time is, I'll know when the date will come, because I follow up. I have a planner that tells me weekly what I'm out to do for the week. And then I know Monday I have this to do, Tuesday I have this to do, and then I usually write all the things that are repetitive so that I already know what time and what order to do them. And then the things that I need to unrepetitively get done, I make sure that I plan them out Monday, and then Wednesday I do this. I have recording such day. Right. I have to see her such day. I have to deal with this such day. I have to call my parents such day. You need to plan and break schedules for everything. If not, things they escape from you.
Exactly.
Like it's almost like you don't manage time to call mom. You don't manage time to call grandma. You don't manage time to be intentional about your wife, to get flowers. Little simple things, but they're important things. Mm-hmm. And you need to manage them. I believe the best way is a planner. Yes. Management is incredibly useful. If you don't want to use a planner, use a Google Planner. And then if it's better for you on the phone to continue getting the notes, even better. I like to walk with a notepad, old way, and I just write things down, and you see me walking with my notepad everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then that's how I keep my schedule on point.
I know that you're a lot about investing.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, and that's such a good thing, because it's like we can't just depend on what we get paid, but we have to depend on, what the world has, like how can we keep on making money versus what we already have. So why do some people reinvest while others increase their lifestyle expenses?
Oh man, I think that's just a perspective of wanting to live to impress other people instead of wanting to delay gratification. Delay gratification is when you sacrifice for a season, a time, some years, some moments, some months, so that you can later on enjoy your life. So various people believe that they have to live it up in their 20s and their 30s years old, and those are not live it up years. Those are hustling your behind off, making sure you get right with your money so that in the future, if you're a man, you could be a provider. If you're in the future, if you're a wife, you could be debt free. You can make sure you are so sustainably where you need to be that your man is an add-on. Mm-hmm. It's not a source of necessity.
Exactly.
You get what I'm trying to tell you? Your woman is a blessing instead of something that becomes a piece of now you're healing.
Right, correct.
So
very true.
So you have to be willing to pay the price so that later the price could pay you. You have to be willing to wait your season. Wait your season, hustle while you're young, don't live it up, don't waste your time in clubs, don't waste your time with drugs, don't waste your time with people who are negative, not just negative as in positively way, negative as in their minuses. Right. They only take from your life, they don't give. They don't have no resourceness to give you, they don't have no knowledge to provide to you, they don't have no influence to provide to you, they don't have no money to provide to you. They don't have, their time is only to take from you. Right. And it disguise themselves as fun. Let's go have some fun. What fun are we having? Exactly. We're both broke, man. What are we doing? We need to get out there. We need to figure out a way to get this done correctly. And once we get the money, then we can have all the fun you want to in the world. Imagine if you hustle your 20s and your 30s, and then your 40s, your 50s, and your 60s, and your 70s, and your 80s, you don't have to worry about working. So you don't work so hard your 20s and your 30s that now investing, now your money's working harder for you than you're working for the money. Because eventually you're going to accumulate a large amount of money, and then eventually that large amount of money will be put in an account in which is going to grow compound interest, in which that's going to race at a faster speed than you trying to make phone calls. That's going to race at a faster speed than you withdraw the money. That investing is going to race at a faster speed than you spend the money. So that's why I'm so key on investing. And I think I made a video about that, where if you are saving only $83 a month, I think it's going to take you 1,000 years to get to $1 million.
Yes.
If you are saving $833, it's going to take you 100 years to get to $1 million. And if you are saving $8,333, it would take you 10 years to get to $1 million. And obviously, if you save 83,333, it would take you only 1 year.
I will be posting that, so stay tuned to hear that.
Excuse me. So
that's a really good video.
If, mind you, I don't know if I have 1,000 years. I don't know if I have 100 more years. I do know I got 10 more years.
Right.
And I do know I got 1 year. So if people can figure out a way that they can save $8,000 or $83,000 a month. I know $83,000 sounds like something difficult for people to believe, but it's very achievable.
Yes.
But we'll just keep it at a very medium bracket. We'll keep it at $8,000. If people could figure out a way to save $8,000 every single month, they'll be rich in 10 years. That's an achievable goal, because it's not something that's going to happen next year. It's not something that's going to happen here to 2 years from now. It's something 10 years. It's something we could work to.
Correct.
You know, if we're a marriage, we could say, hey, honey, you work on something that's going to give you $5,000 every single month. I'll work on something that's going to give me $5,000 every single month. Or we could say, you work on something that's going to give you 7. I'm going to work on something that gives me 7. That's 14. We're going to save 8, and then we're going to live with the remaining 5 or the remaining 6. You get what I mean? So our lifestyle expenses is going to be a $6,000 lifestyle expenses. That means we're not going to get a mortgage for $5,000. Because that means we only have $1,000 to live off.
Exactly.
We're gonna get a mortgage for $2,000. You're gonna live in a nice, comfortable, compact home.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to tell you? For your season, for your 20s, for your 30s years old. And then later on, when you get you some cash, then you can sell that home and you can buy you another home. And then so on. That's how the principle of everything starts. People just want to skip phases.
Yes.
And they want to jump on the train that does not yet belong to them. They want to hop on the Millionaire Railroad without even going through the Trashman Railroad. You must go through the Trashman Railroad before you get you on a fast plane ticket on the Millionaire Railroad. Because the fast plane ticket to the Millionaire Railroad has headaches.
Yes, it is.
Has difficulties, has bumps, has things you got to deal with, things you must manage, decisions you must make, circumstances you must go through, has, believe it or not, has demons. There's scarcity demons, there is discouragement demons, there are days, there are stress demons, there's all type of demons that come and giants that come and attack you. Warfare, because they want what you have.
Right.
So if you have not gone through a season where you know all you paid the price for to be where you are today, then when you get there, you're just going to be an easy target to lose it all. You're either going to be distracted by a woman with pretty hair, or you're just going to be distracted by a car with a bull in the front, or you're going to be distracted by a big house. And if you're distracted by those things, you're going to live only to acquire those things. Jesus says life is not measured by the abundance of many things. So you'll be rich in things, but you'll be empty out of everything else.
Right.
What does a man gain if he wins everything, but he loses his soul? So that's my theory on both of them. Delayed gratification, Sophia, is the conclusion to that question that you gave me. Delayed gratification, learn to manage in the little, learn to be faithful in the little, so that the Lord could give you increase, so that the Lord could make you ruler of much, how he says in his word. And in due time, he'll bless you. If someone wants you to be blessed, believe me, as the Lord. You just need to manage, prove that he can trust you with what you have currently right now, and then he'll trust you with more. I think I made a video before. You want a mansion? Let me see how your room is. You want a nice car? Let me see how you're treating the Honda Civic that you have.
Yes.
If you want a lot of money in the bank, let me see how you're treating the $100 or the $1,000 that you're dealing with. And according to how you're managing that, the God in his immense resourcefulness, he'll see if he'll give you more. If one person can skip a season like that for you, it's God.
Exactly.
He'll connect you with the person he needs to connect you. And you'll be like, how did I just get all this so fast? That's the Lord.
Right.
So you were proven faithful in your season.
And then he'll put you in favor and grace.
He'll give you favor and grace, and he'll just connect you with someone that what in your mind you thought would take 10 years, now God says, no, it's not going to take you 10. I'll connect you with somebody that instead of you now being able to save 8,333, now I'm going to connect you with somebody so that you can save 16,666.
Come on.
So now instead of taking 10 years, you know what? Maybe I want you to take only 5. And I'm going to provide you enough so that you can have some fun, so that you can enjoy yourself, and so that you can have leftover so that you can accomplish that goal which you deeply desire and half the time in what you thought that could do. Things like that happen when you pay the price.
Correct.
So it's very important to pay the price. You pay the price one time, you have harvest. Leviticus 26, I think. He says, I think there's a part in Leviticus 26 where he says, if you obey, I'm not only going to give you blessings, but your harvest is going to overlap. He says you're going to have so much harvest coming in that you're going to have to clean out and make space for new harvest. Oh man, that's so beautiful. He says you're going to have to make space for new harvest. And then when the sowing of this harvest is about to reap for new harvest, he says the harvest of this one is going to overlap with that one. So you're going to literally be picking up after picking up. God wants to bless you, like Ephesians says, far beyond you can think of or imagine. He just needs people to really take him serious, because he takes you serious.
Yeah, he does.
If he didn't take you serious, he wouldn't have created you. He doesn't create trash.
Exactly.
He creates purposes. And we have to get very serious about the time we have, because we only have but so much time to fulfill an assignment.
Exactly.
Each and every one of us was brought here for an assignment. If you acquire all the money in the world and you get your wife, you get your kids, you're nice and happy, you have a beautiful family, but you don't fulfill your assignment, you'll never feel satisfied. I think satisfaction comes from not only walking and pleasing and obeying what God says to do, but in fulfilling your purpose. It's almost like in the church, they disguise it as a calling, but really it's an assignment. And God didn't call anybody to be a pastor, a preacher, an evangelist, and a teacher. No, some people just simply have their own assignment. Like maybe your assignment is to make sure that the curse of poverty never touches your family again. Maybe your assignment is to be a parent whose divorce never exists in your lineage again. So maybe your assignment is to make sure you raise these 2 daughters like no one else raised you when you were young.
Exactly.
Everyone has an assignment, Sophia, and it's very important that each and every one of us know our assignment. Once you know it, don't look right, don't look left, fulfill your assignment. And once you focus on the assignment and you follow the word and you just read the word trying to find a principle to please the assignment, to make sure the assignment gets done, it's almost like everything else just aligns. The businesses that didn't go through now go through. The connections you wish you had, now you have them. The friends you wish you knew, now they suddenly become your friends. And things just start aligning one on top of the other. The things that took a struggle before, now they no longer take a struggle. Everything will align and will submit to you being in the assignment. And for you to be the assignment, Sophia, you need to go to the assignment giver.
Exactly.
The assignment giver is the source, the person who created you.
Right. God himself.
You need to go to the king. You need to tell him, let your kingdom come, let your will be done. And if you follow God and his righteousness, all these things will come to you. So once you make God your king and you start to allow him to lead your life and you start to following his leadership, everything else just starts aligning itself to you. God not only removes your shame from removing you out of Egypt, but God positions you in a place where he'll give you authority, he'll give you anointing, he'll give you blessing, he'll make you famous in that area. And he doesn't do this to everybody. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't, but he'll provide in that area because he'll make you king of that area. He says, I am the Lord of Lords and I am the King of Kings. So that means he wants you to be a queen. He wants me to be a king. He wants you to lead properly. He wants you to think properly. He wants you to speak properly. Ephesians says, so that everyone around you could know the goodness just through your words. Amen.
So thank you very much for this special moment. Thank you very much for this English podcast. And we just bless you guys in today's video.
Bye-bye. Stay blessed.